Good morning from just outside Algonquin Park. If you know anything about that, it is one of the best places to take fall photos in Ontario. And in fact, that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to throw some tips your way. And who is this? We've got Will, and we're waiting for 2 more people, but they're not here yet, so stay tuned for that. As you can see, fall is in full effect around us, and yeah, let's go shoot some fall photos. Oh, hey guys!
Oh, nice to meet you.
Hey! Nice to meet ya. Perhaps the most challenging part of fall photography, no matter where you are in the world, is just finding a location that looks good. Like over here doesn't look too bad, but I think we can do a little bit better than this. All right, what do you think of this location? What's your gut telling you? What would you rate it?
I don't love it. 5 out of 10 for me. We can do better.
The leaves are fighting back.
I know.
They're saying, no, we're 10 out of 10. I think we can do a little bit better. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. We have this really awesome tree with lots of color. What we're also getting is the sun hitting it directly. And when sun hits an object, it brightens it up and makes it look a lot more saturated. But direct sunlight also makes it harder to take a good photo because you have really harsh shadows on your subject. So we're gonna try a few things, see if we can light our subject. I'm gonna get Will to stand in for some photos here, and we'll see if we can make them work. Look at this.
That's it.
I have never done that before. That is so smart.
For the ride.
Regardless of the types of photos you're doing, one of my favorite things to do is have a person in the scene. The reason for that is it gives your photos a little bit of scale, and it also makes it a little bit more exciting to see someone doing something that you can imagine yourself doing. So if you like to go canoeing on a lake, then shooting a canoe on a lake in fall just makes that photo that much more exciting. Also, if you are shooting in a landscape where there's not too much going on, simply putting a person so that you can fill out that photo also makes it that much better of a photo. Also, if your plan is to shoot someone, then that means you get to bring someone with you so that they can take photos of you and you can take photos of them. Teamwork! Okay, let me tell you a story about the time I drank coffee. Seriously though, I don't drink coffee, I drink tea sometimes, and the one time, are we gonna run out of space here? You see that? You see that tree? It's moments like this where you just find the lighting and everything just looks so perfect. So while Will paddles here, I'll talk about that last photo because I think it's really important when you're taking any sort of photos to think about composition. In that last photo, what you saw is me putting a foreground element. And so I was leaning out of the canoe a little bit just to get the photo, to make it a little bit more exciting. So I had those rocks in the foreground. There was a bird there, but the bird flew away, so I wasn't able to get it. The idea is that you have a foreground, a midground, and a background. And so you have something that's interesting, whether it is the tree or it is the bird, and then you have supplemental things in your photo that add to it or complement the thing that you're actually trying to shoot. All right, now back to paddling. Also, I don't know about you guys, but I find it really hard to paddle and take pictures and take videos all at the same time. So I do not recommend doing this. If you are gonna do this, maybe don't paddle. Just, oh, are we crashing? I'm sure Will enjoys doing all the paddling. Oh, they are just a little bit too far away, but that would be a perfect photo with something like a 70 to 200. Will.
Only we had one.
If only we had the 70 to 200, we could shoot those people over there. Another thing, if you are shooting people, especially in canoes or in cars or on something where they're moving, make sure you up your shutter speed. So if you were to normally shoot at a lower shutter speed to let more light in, you might actually have to boost up to 1/200, 1/500, and then raise your ISO to compensate so that your exposure looks good. Like any type of photography, you need to be able to balance your settings and understand the situation that you're shooting in, so that you get the best result possible. You know what's funny? Is I just look like a floating head on a lake. In a canoe. There you go, you guys are in the photo. That's awesome. Final tip for fall photography is shoot with different lighting. So we've been shooting all day long. We shot in the morning, we shot at 12 o'clock noon, and now we're hiking up to our final destination to hopefully get a sunset. So it's a little bit dark in the forest, but once we get to the top, the lookout point faces west, and we should get an amazing sunset. I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath. Follow me, everyone. Follow me. I will be your guide to adventures in the forest at night.
Spooky.
Also, final photography tip. Just don't go out after dark. It's dangerous. Okay, let's go.